Okay, when you're looking at a map, one thing you want to do is you want to look at the legend. You want to look to see what that map is trying to tell you, and that legend should tell you what that is. Now on topographic or USGS maps, they have several features. This particular area here is indicating this is a 6-map set, let's say. Since this map I made on our website and custom centered it so that I wanted to just cover a particular area, I didn't have to go out and buy 6 different USGS quads to cover this area. I could custom center it in that area. Each one of these, there's 6 little squares here, represent a USGS quad. It gives you the name of what that USGS quad is. The red boundary represents the map that I made and what it covers. USGS quads will also have a set of these around showing which map is yours, and it's usually in the middle, and then it shows the maps that are associated with it around the edges. So if you need to pull one of those maps to go along with it. Right here is a picture of the state of Utah. The little red dot here, little square, indicates roughly where this map is in the state of Utah. Along this same thing, it gives you a scale. Now your scale is pretty interesting, or pretty important, in the sense that your scale will tell you what the map is set up at. This particular map I developed at 1 to 30,000 scale. What that means is 1 inch on this map represents 30,750 inches on the ground. And you convert that over into feet and so forth, and about 1 inch equals roughly about a half a mile. But that'll tell you what your distances are, so when you're figuring things out. It also tells you what your contour interval is. Now that's important. If you're going out and you're going to hike into the canyons like we do here in southeastern Utah, you want to know that each one of these contour lines that are drawn on here, between those lines is 40 feet. So if you got a bunch of contour lines that are smashed together, you know you're probably getting into a really steep or a cliff, steep area or a cliff. So that's important to know and recognize. So you look at this stuff on your map and it tells you what you need to know to use that map. Now one of the other things is on this side, right here, it gives you your magnetic declination. Declination comes into play when you're using a map and a compass to navigate. You've got to either figure in your declination, add or subtract it, depending on what you're doing, or you need to put that in there. Some compasses you can preset it and it'll be figured in constantly and so forth. But you need to know what that declination is, and what that means is there's true north and there's magnetic north. True north is the way where north really is. Magnetic north is the magnetic pull that happens on the earth. So when you're putting that compass up there trying to find your direction and that needle spinning around and it finally points one way, it's pointing to that magnetic north. A map is set up at true north. So you figure in this declination so that when you're up here taking a reading with your compass and you're getting that reading off the land and you go to your map, you got to figure in your declination in order to have it accurate on here, or you're going to be that many degrees off on here, and vice versa. If you pull a bearing off of your map and go out and shoot a bearing with the compass and start following it, if you didn't figure in your declination, you're going to be that many degrees off as you're walking that bearing. They also give you some information over here, like this particular one. It says it was developed as a NAD 83, North American Datum 83, and it is done in a UTM zone 12 south, which tells kind of thing. It's very important with your GPS is that you know what the datum is, because if it's a NAD 83, you need to set your GPS to a NAD 83. If it's a NAD 27, you need to set it to a NAD 27. NAD stands for North American Datum. If you don't set it to the right datum in your GPS and you're going off a map or whatever it may be, your reading is going to be totally different. In our particular area here, NAD 27, the difference between NAD 27 and NAD 23, or NAD 83, is about 200 meters one way and 60 meters the other. And if you're in a canyon, that can mean if you take a reading that reading could pop up on the top out of the canyon, and if someone's looking for you, they're not going to find you. So it's very important that you get your datum right. But those are things you need to look at on your map when you get it and you go to start using it. That's it on this review. We appreciate you watching, and we hope that you found it very interesting and useful. Please join us again next time when we have another review or some outdoor tips. Thanks again.